Hello and welcome back, dear viewer. Last time we made our smeltery, got our tools, but in between then and now I did quite a bit of resource gathering. I grew some of the plants a bit more. I made a little patch of pumpkins for us to get dirt more easily. I also processed a bunch of cobblestone into gravel and sieved that so that we won't have to worry about resources for a while. Honestly, you're not missing much by me cutting out the processing of cobble. It's not very thrilling. I usually just hammer it all out, and then what I'll do is I'll take some kind of weighty object, put it on my right mouse button, aim it on sieve, and just hold that until it's ready to go. But I also did a few more things. I moved our pumpkin little device down here. I made it a bit bigger. I moved it down here. So that this thing works 4 times as fast. See, we have a bunch of stacks of dirt. I've sieved a whole lot as well, so we have more resources there, so we can actually start building and progressing things. I managed to create another chicken and then breed them over here. I believe that's about it for terms of progression. Grew some rubber trees. So I'm going to start this episode off making a very useful item. We're making ourselves a builder's wand. So we get some of this. We're going to grab steel from in here. Leave just going like this will do just fine. I'll put the leftover steel in here. I'm going to craft 2 diamond blocks. Make a pattern like so, and we have ourselves builder's wand. So allow me to demonstrate. With a simple click, we can place up to 9 blocks at once. There are some tricks you can do to help it out. It's a little tricky to use it sometimes, but it definitely makes the expansion of the island a much easier process. While we're at it, go ahead and start smelting up some stone. So I believe it is high time to start actually making some decent looking areas for our island. Let's get some of this charcoal from here. Charcoal from here. Cram it in here. Also notice that our coke oven is now full. So we will have to find a way to store all that creosote oil. So fortunately we can make a tank. Or try to make a hardened tank. Should we make a portable tank? It's just a copper ingot surrounded by a bunch of glass. And then do that, we surround it with Invar, which is a alloy of, I believe it is 2 parts iron, 1 part nickel. So let's get our iron. Get some nickel. Let's get some copper. Grab about half stack, I think. That should be enough. All right. So when I am grinding off screen, I'm usually watching a show on my second monitor. personally, I am currently doing a watch through of House MD. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys watch shows while you're playing kind of a grindy video game. I mean, listen to a certain type of music. I've been thoroughly enjoying the show. Really funny things, especially when the house says something completely out of pocket. Right? To get our nickel, copper, iron. Alright, hammer this all out. But I did a little bit of research into materials we'll need for building. And for two of the areas I want to make it, they're going to use heavy use of black and gray dye. Which, it's not much of a problem, other than we don't have any black dye. Which we're going to need to get a steady supply of squids in order to get that. Okay. Let's toss our ores right into here. Thinker's Construct. Smeltery should be able to do the rest. Let's gather up some more pumpkins. But I currently have 2 areas planned. So, well, 3 areas planned. I'll try to build it in the Yume Nikki style, or Yume style, where it's kind of abstract. The themes are kind of everywhere. So the first is to deal with our squid problem. I want to try to make some sort of underground sort of reservoir look. Call it like cephalopod reservoir, something like that. Squid reservoir. That sounds pretty good to me. I mean, it sounds like it could be a world in Yume or Collective Unconscious. And that's going to look kind of like underground tunnel with stone bricks, I think. Yeah, we'll use stone bricks for that. I have it covered in water, so we'll have a lot of squids. I've never really made a squid farm before, so I guess you probably have to bear with me. Let's see here. We're going to get some more wood so we can turn this into charcoal. Also get some experience on our mattock. Oh yeah, this is cuts through them like butter. I love these electrum tools so much. There we go. All right, it's all in order. It's an Invar. I'll start pouring that out. Oh yes, we also need to make something. We make a gear, which I believe is 4 sticks. Like that. So normally, in most modded packs, you have to sort of craft the gears. In this pack, however, you have to pour the gears to a mold. So we make our stone gear. Put this here. Let's get some of our aluminum brass. Yep, we have our gear mold. Right, Invar. Some more of this. Let's get some more glass cooking because we're going to need it. So our goals for this play session are to make some portable tanks. I want to try to get started on energy as well. So we're going to make a energy cell. And I want to make a hobbyist steam engine or two. Maybe a survivalist generator as well. Let's see here. Invar. I have 3 ingots left over. So let's just pour this all out. I want to try to make sure the smeltery is not cluttered. A bunch of old ores and things I no longer need. And an Invar. Copper. Right. This glass will be useful later on as well. Well, these tanks will be useful later on as well. So we're going to need ways to store a large amount of water to feed to our steam engines. Because steam engines use 2 resources. Well, the hobbyist steam engine anyway. Other steam engines need like a special way to produce steam. But our steam engines use 2 things. They use burnable fuel and they use water. So having a large supply of water available is very important. Alright, so we're going to do this. Something like this. Just going to make it Invar. Just like that. Let's move our glass around. There we go. I have 3 hardened portable tanks, which each hold 32,000 millibuckets. So 2 of these should be able to take out all of creosote oil in there. Yep. Clean as a whistle. Alright, let's make our coal blocks. We're just going to shove them in there. So we have a lot of coal left over. This creosote oil can be used to make those treated wooden planks, which have their use, but they're not exceptionally useful. You can also use it as a low form of liquid fuel. But it's probably going to be used just in cases of emergency. I'll just store these in here. Alright. That's when you make our hardened fuel cell. So these guys act like big block-shaped batteries. Ah yes, to do that we're going to need a thermionic fabricator. Let's see here. Thermionic fabricator, which I believe needs a lot of brass. Start casing and a gold chest. From an iron chest. Ugh. Needs bronze, so that needs. We're doing a lot of smelting today, it looks like. Bronze. Like bronze, I believe it is 10 and copper, 3 parts copper, 1 part tin. 3 parts copper, 1 part tin. Just hammer this out and make sure we're being as efficient as possible. So yeah, let's look at our hobby steam engine too. What does that need? Hobby steam engine. Yeah, all this is well within our grasp. All right. So try to get these set up so that energy will be on its way. Now, I do have a fun idea of what we can do for energy. So I was looking at potatoes for whatever reason. I noticed that you can kind of create a potato battery to generate some RF. I want to see if we can put that energy into our energy cell. So if we could do that, that might be a fun, kind of cute way to charge up our power in the early game without having to worry too much about relying on slow power generation. Let's see, there we go. Brushed tin. Later on, we'll be able to have machines that can do all of the stuff for us. I yearn for that day. But this isn't the worst thing in the world to do. I should also note that this mod pack, Tinker's Construct has a special modifier you can put on your tools. You put a diamond hammer on one of your Tinker's Construct tools, it gets the property hammered, which greatly slows down its mining speed, but it acts like a hammer, letting you easily break down things like these ore dusts, turns cobblestone into gravel, so on and so forth. All right, so another 2 hammers. Just like this. Now, in the past, I've played this mod pack, I've usually tried to rush to put hammered on my Electrum tools, but honestly, I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's like if you really want to speed up your processing of these, you'd want to not put it on a pickaxe, because like once you put it on, you can't take it off. You wouldn't want to put it on a pickaxe. You'd much likely rather put it on something like a hammer or excavator, which digs in a 3x3 pattern, making it much quicker to dig. All right, we're just gonna shove this in here, put a little bit. Oh, I can't shove it all in just yet. All right. We'll also need some gold. So I'll go ahead and hammer some out from here. we are. So I really like the steam from the steam-powered energy from Railcraft. Probably because like it needs like lots of big multi-block structures, and it has the chance to explode. So a little bit of science knowledge for you guys. Not when steam engines, they just heat up water. Water gets turned into vapor, steam, and that steam pushes a turbine. So the tank where that water is being heated gets really, really, really hot. So you need to have a constant stream of water. If it gets too hot, the pressure will build and build, and it will just freaking explode. And Railcraft accurately depicts that. Yes, you have to be very careful when dealing with railcraft power through the steam engines. Okay, I'll make some of these sturdy casings. So we need to make about 4 gears for every block we make. All right. I should have enough to make an extra just left over, so I'll just do that because we'll need multiple sturdy casings before everything's over with. Put in the wrong way. There we go, sturdy casing. Okay. Have any iron in there? Yes, we have quite a bit of iron. Pour that out. So we're going to need iron to make our piston. Fun fact, pistons were actually a mod for Minecraft, but Notch liked them so much that he put them in vanilla. Okay. Electron, gold. Let's pour out our gold. Neat. So later steam, so let me talk a little bit about these steam engines. So there are 3 different, I guess you can call them tiers of steam engine. You have hobbyist steam engine, commercial steam engine, industrial steam engine. So they each produce a higher amount of RF per tick and use a higher amount of steam. Now, hobbyist steam engine has a steam boiler built into it, so you don't have to worry much about that. However, the other 2 do not. Instead, you have to make a steam boiler. So that can be kind of a tall ask. And the recipes have been tweaked. So they need iron chipset from an assembly table, which I don't remember how to do those exactly, but I'll figure it out in due time. Commercial steam engine. It's that. So you actually have to make a boiler to fire up, like feed it fuel. It will use up your fuel, use up water to make steam. You pipe that away, and then you pipe in the steam to the engines themselves. And they will produce RF from that steam. You can make the boilers as big or as small as you want. But like big boilers stay hot for longer, produce higher amounts of steam, but will also use up water more quickly, use up fuel more quickly. Now me, I'm usually a go big or go home kind of guy. And there are a few different ways you can make the steam boilers. You can create them out of iron for low pressure, so those are pretty easy to manage. Honestly, I think low pressure works best. And you have high pressure, which is made out of steel, so it makes steam much faster. I think maybe a little bit more efficiently, but like it's very easy to outpace your water high pressure. You have solid and liquid fuel. Now, solid is best for early game because you just have coal. Like you're not making like build craft fuel just yet or ethanol. But for liquid fuel, you can sort of automate it easier and just have like a device set up to convert fuel. I think when we get to liquid fuel, I'll probably use ethanol, which looks like this. So ethanol is made in a refinery. You refine biomass to ethanol, and it's got quite a lot of kick to it. So you take biomass. So you take a bit of honey or water. You ferment it to biomass. You find that biomass further into ethanol. Eventually, I want to get to making that, but that's still a long ways off. I also believe ethanol can be used in like buildcraft combustion engines, which I'm not sure how efficient they are. So yeah, I'm just gathering up this iron so I can put it in the smeltery. Because later on, we're probably going to want a lot of steel. So remember when I said you had to pipe off the steam from steam engines? Well, a lot of times your steam engines aren't going to be like needing to make power 24/7. So what you want to do is you want to store up that steam, and that's why you can make a steam tank. You make a tank, and let me get the numbers for you. So it acts like it's a multi-box structure. And the bigger you make it, the more millibuckets it can fill. So, I believe railcraft tank. Here we go. Yes. So I believe at let's see the actual calculations. but it can store like millions of millibuckets. Or yeah, it can store like an obscene amount of millibuckets. And you will have iron, steel. Steel is just superior to iron. It's just harder to get. Like you don't have to worry about it like busting the tank or anything like that. Like how you do with like a high pressure boiler. That steel tank can store an absurd amount of steam. So what I typically like to do is I like to run the steam boiler for a while and produce a large stockpile of steam so I don't have to worry about it until like a few hours later. And then I start the boiler back up. By that time, my resources to run it have been returned, or they're back. I can run it again. Okay. Thermionic fabricator. We need a bunch more gold, so I'm gonna hammer out some more gold. How much gold dust we have up here? So this is enough. Otherwise, we're gonna have to take another break where I go off and process resources off screen. So, making our stuff for our steam engines. I want to try to make 3 of them. Then, once we have that sorted out, we can make our thermionic fabricator, which makes like different like types of light bulbs, which are used for certain recipes. Specifically, in our case, what we want is an energy cell. Just like a big mobile battery. We just like pick it up, put it down, wherever. And configure its faces to just input, output, and how much power they transfer per tick. I think, let's see. Let me check the TPS. Forget exactly how many ticks per second. I think it's supposed to be like 15 ticks per second. Let's see the TPS there. That's, yep, there we go. We have more gold. Just gonna build this stuff out. Okay. 16. Start making gold ingots. Have this creosote going. Have a bunch of creosote in here, so we can make gold. But let me talk about the different areas I have planned. So we talked about the squid area, which we're waiting on stone for that. But another area I want to make is Oritsky's bedroom, which if you're familiar with Yume at all, you know exactly what it looks like. If you're not, I mean, you can always go down to the description. I have a link to Yume Nikki Online, which is the preferred way to play Yume Nikki in many of the fan games. And then, lastly, I have another area planned, which I'm going to call a tree exhibition. So I want to have like a platform down there in the dark. Have the floor be kind of like a black terracotta or something like that, some kind of dark block, and have like stone pathways, and have them lead to like little cobblestone planters where individual trees will be grown in sort of like a museum type fashion. Feels like something that you would see in Yume Nikki or Yume Nikki specifically. Bunch of strange trees growing out in the dark void. So that will start off as a sort of functional tree farm, but later on, especially when we start getting stuff like forestry for Minecraft, where we get to breed our own custom trees, I think that will be a good place to store them. Sort of have like a collection of them. All right. Gold ingots. Let's start pouring out this iron. All right. Let's get a hobbyist steam engine made. So I believe we have just about almost everything we need just to grab some more redstone. Fortunately, we have more than enough. Let's see here. Craft this into planks. Go across the top like this. Redstone goes on the bottom. There it goes here. All right, so we need I don't know why I made 9 gold gears. I just only needed 6. But, oh well. More the merrier, I suppose. Okay. I'll store these gold gears in here. So, put it like this. I'll introduce you to this HUD here. On this side here, we have the steam. This side will tell you how much temperature, how hot the steam boiler is going. It's in Celsius, so anything 100 or up is at boiling. You're making steam. The higher above 100 it's going, the faster you make steam. This is how much energy is stored in the machine. This is how much water is there. And you use this to fill it up with more water, although you can always like right-click it with a water bucket or fill some pipes in there. Get what you need. Let's get our forge hammer or our thermionic fabricator. We will also need to make a lever. I know it's kind of silly, but this mod needs it. Let's see, thermionic. Okay, gold chest at the bottom, iron chest down there. Okay, I need 9 iron plates, 9 gold plates. Okay. Oh, 8, I mean. There we go. I also need to think of something to do for our storage situation. Right now it is quite messy, but I think once we get some more rooms built, it won't be that bad. Another thing I should definitely consider doing is just going down to as close to bedrock as I can get and start filling out the floor with our builder's wand so that if I do happen to fall off the edge, I don't have to do any acrobatics or monkey business to get my items back. Okay. Put you here. You here, you here. Is it? Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Got our thermionic fabricator. Okay, put this right here. We need to fill it up with water. Fortunately, we have a very easy way to do that. We can just put this here, let her fill up. Actually, that's a thought. That's a good thought, actually. Let's move the thermionic fabricator up here and just put the steam engine there. So that the steam engine will always be full of water. Oh, sorry. All right. This way our steam engine will always be full of water. We don't have to worry about it burning out and exploding because of the pressure. Um, did I put more coal in there? Check. Yes, 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 we're good here. All right. Let's put charcoal there. So let's take a look at what specifically we need for our energy cells. Leadstone, we're going to need 10. Okay. Hardened, we'll need bronze. Okay. So looks like we just need to smelt up a bunch of tin. Tin. Let me click those. I'm just trying to eat some food. All right. All right, we're just going to shove our tin right in here. Making eggs out the wazoo. Okay. So for these guys, the HUD's a little funky to use. Okay, I need to make more insulated circuits. I need to make cutters. She needs more iron. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. What? What happened to all the tin we had? I only have 8 tin ingots? I only have 8 ingots. Let's put another tin more dust in there. All right. So we need to hammer out some more iron. I think we need 3 plates. Voila. Then we need to get more copper wire. So some of you might be yelling at me if you are familiar with Minecraft all and just tell me to use the immersive engineering energy storage, but I don't like those, and these hold more, quite a lot more, and it's just only a little bit more work. So We hammer out that copper into plates too, looks like. All right, 10, 10. And let's get our copper. Gosh, we're really burning through our resources this session. Hopefully, this will enable us to get things a bit more easily down the line. All right, copper ore. So the ideal goal here is that we'll be able to make it's like an auto hammer and or an auto sieve, and just have that passively process a lot of our resources for us. So then we can do other mods in the background without having to worry about, oh, am I going to run out of iron? I'm just going to make more just in case. Something tells me that this won't be the last time we need a lot of copper. Call it a hunch. Okay. Let's start. I need to hammer this out. That's right. I think this should be enough. Right? Yeah, looks like enough. Need 2 more iron plates though, for sure. Okay, and then let's get some rubber. Fortunately, I planted some rubber trees earlier and smelted up some of those raw rubber. So there should be a bunch of rubber floating around here somewhere. Let's just do this. Here we are. Okay. Oh, just need 12. 12 rubber. Blade wires. Like this. Iron plates. Angie circuits. Oh, sorry, electronics circuits. Stone. Make some lead. Got some lead right here. All right. Let's see here. We have 10. Okay. So let's get to this guy. Let's see, where is some redstone right here. This is how you set it up. You put your crafting recipe there. Put your materials there. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Then you put some glass there. I think we're about ready to turn this thing on. Start making it. So, see it's starting to fire up. Put these here. Get some more lava going. So it's going to take a little bit up. We're going to start producing a little amount of steam. All right, got our energy flowing. Okay, we need hardened, which we need redstone, so we need 2 electrum ingots. Let's get right on that. Fortunately, we made a whole bunch of electrum earlier from last episode. Waste not, want not. All right, let's get our lead. Put our here. Make our redstone conductance coil. Looks like we're gonna need just this. So we might just, yeah, I think we might be good here. Okay. Let's get our redstone block. Stone energy cell. Right. Just waiting on this guy to, yep, make enough energy. So we're gonna go from leadstone. So leadstone can hold up to 400 KRF. We're going to jump immediately to hardened energy, which will hold 2 million RF, which is quite a lot for our purposes. Let's see here. Come on, baby, come on. Pull it together. All right, we have our tin electron tubes. Just going to do the same thing, but for bronze. Just like that. We're done. All right, put our leadstone here. Tins go here. Go there. Leadstone. Conductance coil. Put lead all around it. There we go. Leadstone, lead energy. Put some bar around it. This is a hardened energy cell. I believe. Hematite. Do a silly. Yeah, I think I did a silly. I think I was a little inefficient with that, but okay. So this is how it'll work. All right, energy cell here. We're going to put so back. That's the wrong side of it. Okay. Max input. All right, let's see. This should be starting to put RF into this thing. I think it's blue. Yes. Okay, it's starting to suck RF out of this thing into our energy cell. Just as we want. We now have energy. So keep in mind this energy cell is not required for any of the machines. It's just something I want to do so I can like charge up and then not have to worry about it later on. But I think I have enough resources to make one more. Wires do we have? Yeah, I can make a little bit more, I think. I see my copper. Looks like copper. Oh yeah, we have a cajillion copper. We're good. So if I can get 2 energy cells, that will be really nice. Lead ingots. Okay. So I was a little inefficient. I think what I could have done is I could have just made the frames. And that would have been just fine to make it. So I believe we'll try to make one more. Okay, we need 2 more lead. This goes here. It goes there. I need a singular electrum. Need more of our redstone. I grabbed yellorium. I don't need that. I need you. Right, that there. Make our conductance coil. Let's see, I believe it was something like this. Then surround it. Then it was just and bar around it, I believe. Like so. Yes, okay, I did make a rather silly mistake. Okay. So yeah, this is a bit more efficient in our resources here. Yes, okay, cool. We have 2 hardened energy cells. Double the energy cells, double the fun, as they say. Alright, yeah, it's sucking up all this RF. Okay, so I don't... Okay, let me try something now that we have that taken care of. I don't know how I can transfer power, but I'll certainly try. Where's the... Yes, lead nugget. So you can make a potato battery of sorts. Let's see, can we put this in there? Let's see. Let's see. Let me do research. I'm gonna look up something real quick. Be right back. Alright, I did a little bit of research, and apparently I cannot just put energy in there from the flux capacitor, which is rather unfortunate. But we are producing quite a lot of energy, and it's going in there very quickly. So, should be good for a while. But I think it's an excellent time to call the episode there. Made a bit of progress. Got ourselves energy. Good way to store it. We have 2 of them now. So we fill up 2 hardened energy cells. Be used for it later on. And Hoochie Mama, does it seem to be having quite a lot of storage there. Alright, thank you for watching. Next time we are going to try to build a squid farm so we can start building our materials. Alright, until next time, thank you for watching.